Well, hello, this is Rochelle, and thank you for joining me here on the Creative Retreat YouTube channel for a very different video this month. So I am choosing my Albrecht Durer watercolor marker colors that fit with the colors of this kit. I'm just taking them out and having them at the ready because this video is very planning heavy. So for my outline there on my cover page of my planner, I am copying one of the cards of this kit that has like this blue background with white dots. And so I'm just adding white dots with my white gel pen. Remember from a few videos back, I said that if you use a white gel pen, the Jelly Roll in a size 10 is the best one to use. So a little bit more about this planning craze that I do want to share with you, and it's actually been such fun getting into it and creating your own planner customized to yourself in a bullet journal or a dot journal. Mine is from Dot Journal Stationery in South Africa, but you can get very nice ones in the States from Archer and Olive. I know that they stock really nice bullet journals or dot journals. I'm using the Faithfilled Digitals, and it usually has an alphabet in it, and I am copying the alphabet into my title, which is then March. So you'll see me first pencil it out and then go at it, but later on in the video you'll see that it gets easier the more you practice. So this is also a very good way to practice that creative hand lettering that we can get to do in various arts and crafts. We can add titles using these fonts that come with these alphabet letters. Now you can obviously print it on clear sticker paper and do your own word like that. I just enjoy learning a new style kind of every month when it comes out. From here on out, I'm taking the little floral pieces, flower pieces and leaves and greenery. Well, some of them are blue, not green. And I'm sticking them down in the way that I kind of have in my mind that I want it there. So not, any particular rhyme or reason. I have for the last 2 months, I started doing this kind of dot journaling in January. And I have for the last 2 months just tried out different printables and different styles. And it's a whole big thing. And you can go check out Amanda Rach Lee. I think she is just such a good inspiration when it comes to dot journaling or planning or using a bullet journal to plan in. So just erasing my pencil marks. I do use Faber-Castell Pitt artist pens to write with if I don't use the Albrecht Durer watercolor markers. So they do settle quite fast and I can erase the marks without smudging the words. I wanted to recreate that little Just As He Said logo or title that's on the devotionals cover as well. So try it out. Try and see if you can recreate the font and play around a bit. And then I loved this little sentiment on the card, and I punched it out with a circle and stuck it on the top of that page. Next up, I'm going to just create a little sentiment page next to my title page, and I'm writing out He said it, that settles it. And using the combination of the fonts from the alphabet that is included in this printable and that kind of font for the Just As He Said that we see there. Now, March, the faith art box for March is titled Just As He Said. And it's such a reassurance knowing that what God said, that's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He said it, that settles it. And I wanted to recreate that yellow kind of card, but make it my own. And so I am doing just coloring it in and then using two little labels plus that circle piece that says, or that has the ampersand on it, so that I can then spell out my agreement with it to say yes and amen. And I'm so excited that, when God plans something for us, when He promises something to us, that's it. There's no negotiation. It's not a what if He wouldn't do it for me. He promises and He does. So when He went into the tomb after He had been taken off the cross, His word before that said that He would rise in 3 days, and He did. He kept His promises, and that's what He does. He keeps His promises. So my reason for journaling, or for bullet journaling, planning in that way, is obviously I have a lot of commitments, and I need to, in the same way, stick to my commitments in a prayerful way. So this kind of helps me to plan out my week, plan out my month in a prayerful way, and or fulfill the commitments that I've made, just as He has fulfilled the commitments that He's made. He's faithful to fulfill it, and I have His nature, so I should be faithful to fulfill my commitments as well. Now, I'm not saying life doesn't happen. I am a mother. I do have children. Things happen, schools phone at the last minute. It's kind of crazy at times, but nonetheless, we can plan it out, and God says that, we can submit our plans to Him, and that's the beauty of it. This is not me planning, my way. It's including prayer. It's including the time with God to figure it out, to work out the details of my life, because He's intricately involved in the details of my life to fulfill it, just as He said. Not just as Rochelle said, just as He said. So this is me planning out my monthly spread, much in the same way as I did my title page. I am using that font to write out March. And then I took the edge of the devotional. Now, this is another reason why I love the printable version of it, or the downloadable version of it, because I can print it as many times as I want, and so I could do 2, so that I would cover the 2 sides of my monthly spread with those florals that is available on that front cover of the devotional. Next up, I'm taking my Albrecht Durer watercolor markers again, and adding just little dots where the dates of these days should go. In my heading, I did Monday through Sunday, and then I'm just taking my white gel pen on top of that blue pen, and it stands out beautifully, the white on the dark color. And I have my month all planned out, or my monthly calendar out there. This is a spread that I quite enjoy doing. Sticking to it is hard, but I'm getting better at it. So I'm doing a habit tracker every month, and I'm tracking things like, am I drinking water every day? Am I moving every day and not just sitting or working? So I am still working from home, and that effectively means that I spend a whole lot of time in front of my computer in meetings with Zoom or whatever else, and I don't move as much as what I did when I was at the office. And that just means that I need to kind of remind myself that I need to move, that I need to drink water, that I need to get to the other things in my life, like reading, things like that. So I am tracking these habits, and the way that you do it, or the way that I do it, is I've got these little kind of mini calendars in this spread or in this layout, and I put down, I don't have to physically write down 1 to 31 for every single habit, but I'll put the titles of the habit, or the habit that I want to track, in the little yellow block. And then on the days that I kind of get it right, I'll color that block for that day knowing, from my previous spread, the calendar, which day will fall on which block. Hope that makes sense. I am using a little tiny ruler here just to kind of get my lines straight, because yeah. So there are stamps that have these little calendar layouts, etc., etc., that make it a bit easier, I think, available. I'm not sure. I'll try and find some and link them. But nonetheless, it's not that much work. And really, I find it particularly therapeutic to plan this out like this and spend the time in the beginning of the month and then in the beginning of each week to just kind of have myself ready and set for the week so that I don't drop the ball in any place. This is a little cheat sheet or a grid line sheet, and it just kind of gives various spacings for this dot journal that I've pre-done and laminated, so I have it at the ready if I need to plan out, halves of the page or the size of a certain block, so I don't have to physically count every dot every single time. I have it kind of at the ready and available as type of a bookmark ruler thing in the inside of this planner. A little trick I learned from Emma Lefebvre and also Amanda Rachley on YouTube about planning. So in my playlist, every month I include some of the songs that I currently play a lot. And this month I've looked for songs that have the meaning and the words risen in it. And I think there's one from Israel Houghton and there's one from Bethel, I think, having those words in. So I'm just edging it because it felt a bit unfinished on the side, and just taking that blue marker and edging the two sides so that it's fitting in with the color, etc., etc. Next up, I am writing out one of the verses from the devotional so that it reminds me why I'm doing any of this. And it's Matthew 28 verse 6, and it says, "He is not here, he's risen, just as he said. Come and see the place where he lay." And so for me, again, like I said, this month really is to remind myself and bring myself back to that place where I understand that it is just as he said. He's in control. He said it. That settles it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just doing what God said, because that I know is a surefire way that it'll happen if he said it. So yes, I've got songs. He is Risen by Graham Kendrick and Paul Belush, Risen by Israel Houghton and the Covenant Church, and then The Passion by Hillsong. Those are the songs that I'm listening to. I do also want to watch the Passion movie again this month, so planning for that. And then next up, I've got my my first week's spread. So I don't include all of the kind of I know that some people include mood trackers, and I do find those helpful, but I'm not including that in my particular journal. I am just starting out, and if at a later stage I want different spreads that are valuable, like maybe a budget or things like that, or YouTube planning pages, or however, you can still kind of add them in later months. Adding a little drop shadow is also something that I've learned and quite fun. And I'm taking this pattern paper that's on the back of the devotional, and I'm punching out circles and cutting them in half, and then those will be kind of the place where I'm going to be writing my dates, because I want these florals everywhere. They're just so pretty and so vibrant and exciting. We're heading into winter here in South Africa, so need every little bit to kind of keep us happy and feel like sunshine. This backing of this printable or this devotional, it feels like sunshine. So you saw me took my white gel pen there and kind of white out the mistake that I made. I wrote too closely and I didn't do the spacing like I wanted to. And that's the other fun part of it, is you can fix your mistakes, and a mistake is only a mistake if you let it stay there and not learn from it. So there you go, a quick roundup of all my spreads for the start of March. I hope you find it valuable and go check out some of the other girls' journaling pages and projects for this month. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.